West Ham 1, Chelsea 5. Come on, Blues! We are back to where we belong. Guess what? West Ham scored a spectacular goal, after which what happened? 1-1, 2-1, 3-1, 4-1, 5-1. Akbako. In Nigeria here, we'll call it wiper or Imo cord for neck. That is what happened, and that is the response you get. Before the match, Kopama got injured, and he was replaced by Istavo. And guess what? My guy lights up the Premier League. You understand? He shows why Chelsea spent so much money to get him here, and he proved that he's up for it. And he's the youngest player ever to assist in a Premier League game. The stats are there. That's what Fabrizio Romano posted. The youngest guy to score for Chelsea, to provide an assist for Chelsea in the Premier League. And he could have gotten a goal if not for the leg of a West Ham defender that the ball just clipped and then, slow down the speed for the keeper to pick up. His link-up play was electric. The guy was so good. Look at his goal for Pedro Neto. It was so fast, the way he created it. Even when the defender went down, he ensured he slowed down and put the ball in between the legs of the defender. He was so good. He was so good, and Chelsea were so good. We controlled the game, and you could see the difference here. You see, when after the game against Crystal Palace, we all complained and we look at what actually happened. We didn't progress the ball well the way we wanted it, and then we know very well that Liverpool was highly missed. But guess what? If Tosin was in that game, it wouldn't have been this bad, because the problem is that we could not, that central progression was an issue for us, because if we had the ball before we could pass it around to the left, to the right, Crystal Palace will regroup. But if you watch today, you see all those line breaking passes Tosin was giving straight up. The ball will pass 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 West Ham defenders straight to our last midfielder, to the striker, or straight to the striker. That link-up play, it was so crucial, and we actually missed Tosin. It's not as if Acheampong is not good. Acheampong is good enough. He can play right back. He can play central defense. On the right hand of the central defense, you can pair him and Tosin, or you can pair him, or maybe you can start him on the right back, or you pair him and Tosin, and you can also pair him and Chalobah, depending on the position. But in a Premier League game, or a game that we need to win at all costs, where the teams are sitting back, you need that central progression. You understand? Because this is what happened to us against Real Betis, that the link-up play was poor, and then in the second half, the substitutions were made, and Kowi was brought in centrally, and you could see those vertical, those passes through the middle. It's as if a knife, going through a bread. So it was so powerful, and you could see the position of Malo Gusto, just like the way we play PSG. He was so far, he was at the front, so you could see the way they spread, and Moses Casido, what else can I say? You are the best midfielder. It shows money well spent. You could see Tosin, Uncle Tosin, take your shots. And Kukurea, as ever, these guys are so good. They control. Pedro Neto, oh my God. And Delap, good job. Even though you didn't score, your presence, was causing problem, and you could see this is the difference. If you remember against Arsenal the other time, before Arsenal, Kopama got injured and he wasn't there, we were massacred. 5-0 it ended. And last season against Arsenal, Kopama got injured. You could see we were very poor. But you could see today, even though Kopama got injured 10 minutes before the game, you could see that Estevao was there to do those things. And João Pedro, you can play him as a 10, you can play him as a top 9, as a first 9, you can play him on the wings. This is what the coach actually wanted from Nkunku. But unfortunately, Nkunku, it seems he doesn't have the energy, and maybe he's disinterested, in the Premier League or in the Chelsea team. So he just have to leave. But we're so happy we got someone like João Pedro. The guy is a horse. He's so good. He can pass, he can shoot, and Dos Santos, good one. You came in, you did a good job. That's a professional performance. I love it. Same thing with Jarahato, good one. Jamie Gittins. You see, this is just what I want. Kill the game as early as possible, and then give playing time to the other guys, so that let them, have a feel of the game, so that way everybody could stay happy. You can share more minutes as much as you can. So, and the game aside, Now let's come to the other side. Today, Bayern roasted RB Leipzig 6-0. It seems it's the last game that Javier Simons is playing as a Leipzig player. He respected the club. He wanted to play, even though we know that he's coming to Chelsea. But he waited behind and played for the game. Even before the game, he waved the fans just to show, okay, this could be my last game, you know. But he played, but he didn't save them. They lost 6-0. And in the other news, Renato Vega has officially joined Villarreal. You can see the news on the Villarreal site, so it's clear over there. And on the other side, you know, Aston Villa are also interested in Nicolas Jackson, you know, trying to ensure that they get the deal wrapped up on time, you know. So the Newcastle are also interested, and then other teams are also looking at him to see. Even Bayern in the last 48 hours, they also inquire about Nicolas Jackson. A lot are happening. And Disasi, we learned 21 million euros on offer from the Cherries for Disasi, and Chelsea also considering they are talking club to club. So we're waiting because Chelsea need to sell Nkunku and Nicolas Jackson, and then Disasi. This key, especially Nkunku and Nicolas Jackson, they need to sell these guys so that they'll be able to have the opportunity to register the other guys for the Champions League. So it's a good one. Right now, among the 30 teams, Chelsea among the top 30 that have made so much money. In fact, Wrexham, a team in the lower division, has spent more money than Chelsea. You know, so that's how good these guys have done their business, and in fact, they are killing it. And beyond that, they also have other players like Hani Chukwuemeka. Report has it that Chelsea and Dortmund are almost agreeing the field. They're already talking, and they'll sell him to Dortmund. And you buy one, you get one for you get one for on a loan. Meaning, Gabriel Anselmino will join Borussia Dortmund on loan. Chelsea have no intention to sell him; just a straight loan. And remember Enciso, that brilliant Paraguayan midfielder that plays for Brighton. He was so good. He scored against us at the Stamford Bridge, and you know, against last season he played on loan to the club we signed Leandela from, and even at Stamford Bridge, the guy caused us so much problem. I think he scored against us again. So he's so good. His contract he has 1 year to run out on his contract. He refused to renew, and then he has to leave. So Chelsea saw him as a player, a profile they need to add to their team. Guess what they did? They used their other team, Bluco, that's the other company, to buy the player and take him to Strasbourg in France. So he will play 1 season there. At the end of that season, Chelsea will now buy him from Strasbourg, and then they'll bring him to Stamford Bridge. So you can see how smart these guys are. You know why Chelsea are doing all those things? They are buying a whole lot of players that they will use the opportunity. Some of them, just like somebody like Renato Vega, they bought him for 12 million pounds or 14 million euros, and then he made only 1 Premier League start for Chelsea, and this is the guy they are selling for 30 million. And they also have a 40 million buyout clause for this same guy, because he signed a 6 years deal with Villarreal, meaning if he performs very well and the bigger team is buying him, let's say for 50 million, Chelsea will have a slice of maybe 15 to 20 million pounds out of that money. So that's how good those guys have done business, and they are using it. You know why they are doing this? They are using it to cover for the lack of bigger stadium that they don't have, because Stamford Bridge is not that big, it's just 42,000 capacity. So right now, clubs like Tottenham have one of the biggest, they have a bigger stadium, Arsenal have a bigger stadium, Everton have joined the league of having a bigger stadium of 60,000 plus capacity, and you know Old Trafford is 78,000 plus capacity. So they need a bigger this stadium. So for now that the stadium is not there, they have to find other creative ways of making money, which is you buy players, you play them, you turn over, you make money. At least that compensates for the lack of space, so that while you plan for maybe the Ace Cult, which they will have to acquire and then build a bigger stadium so that Chelsea can move away from Stamford Bridge. Because right now, if you have ever been to Stamford Bridge, you could see there are houses, a railway station, and an express on the other side. So these other quarters are land there for the veterans, and then you need to buy it off, and the Fulham Castle have to step in. So it's going to take a whole lot of time. So instead of breaking and rebuilding, it will be better you just move to Elcourt, build a bigger stadium, you have enough parking space, big, build a 70,000 capacity, because it's better you have a 70,000 capacity and sell ticket for cheap, maybe for £50, instead of selling ticket for £100, so that you make more money. Sell for £50, so that, or 60 more. You now have a full house, and then you easily make your money. More fans can attend, because some people don't come because of the cost of tickets and then the capacity. But if you have a cheaper ticket and the bigger capacity, at least your fans can come and then watch the game, and then use what, instead of paying that £100, they can watch for maybe £40 or £50, and then use maybe £20 to transport themselves back, and then maybe use £10 to get some drinks, enjoy themselves and watch goals being scored and opponent being, smacked down. You understand? So that is how the owners are planning. They're planning ahead, and if they find any talent that they feel this guy will find himself to Chelsea, will be good for Chelsea in the next 2-3 years, he'll be there, they'll acquire it and use the Bluco company to buy it, and then move it to Strasbourg, get him to play. Just like I watched the Strasbourg game against the Brøndby. It was a good game. They tried, and I believe in the second leg they'll come up better, and I believe they'll qualify. And I want them to progress in the Conference League, so that the more they progress, the better. So that the experience, will be there, and playing in the European competition, those night games, it helps build, a player mentally. If you play night games, by the time you start playing Europa or Champions League, it's still night is night. The experience, by the time you play with the bigger guys, you get there, your shoulders will be like this, and then you'll be pumping in, and you get done. Because once you play for Chelsea and you've done that shit, guy, you are winning something definitely. So today Chelsea have shown that fine, they want to compete for that league. Whether Kopama is available or not, solution must be found. So signing Xavier Simons will help a lot, because we don't know how long Kopama is going to be out. I just hope it's not more than 4 weeks or 6 weeks. You understand? So that the squad we can cope. If Xavier Simons comes in, he can also help us a lot, because he was supposed to function in those double 10 alongside Kopama, and then the signing of Gustavo, great one, and João Pedro, good one. So don't forget, we also have Alexandro Garnacho. So what needs to happen is for Nicolas Jackson and Nkunku to just leave, and then we'll bring these guys in, because we have an agreement with UEFA on what to spend, what amount not to exceed, so that we'll get those guys in. So a whole lot are happening, and in my next edition I'll be able to give you the lowdown. But right now, savor the victory. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oraimo Court. Now we wipe them for neck. Love you guys. But don't forget to subscribe. Always drop your comments and share. Love you. Love you. See ya.